Hello and welcome. My name is Elsa Isaac, and you may know me from blog.elsaisaac.com. And I'm so glad that you are here and you're joining me for this special class and event called Get the Wardrobe of Your Dreams, No Shopping Required. Before we get started, I just thought you may be a little bit curious about my background, who I am, and what I do. So I have been a fashion stylist for over 10 years now, almost 11. And how I got my start is actually a funny story because I had no idea what a stylist was when I got my first job, which I think is hilarious. I literally got offered a job to style a video. I was probably in my second or third year of college in Toronto, and I had a friend who was in the music industry, and he came up to me one day and said, "Hey, Elsa, we're doing a video for one of our artists, and we want you to style the video." And I kind of looked at him, just completely dumbfounded, because I had no idea what a stylist was, and I told him that. I said, "I don't do that. I want to be a designer. I don't know what styling is." And he said, "Don't worry, we'll walk you through it. It'll be fine." And I honestly, believe me when I tell you, I really tried to get out of that job, but he would not take no for an answer. So luckily, he did, kind of twist my arm, and so I began shopping for this video. And it wasn't just the artist I had to style; he had a band of about five others in addition to all the extras. So I think there was a lead girl, and then there was like a dance scene. So there was a bunch of other people who needed to get dressed for the video. I freaked out the entire time up until the day of the shoot, thinking they're going to find out that I'm a fraud and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just going to ruin this whole project. But as the day went on, people would compliment me and tell me how they loved their outfits and how great they felt, or how good so and so looked, and how amazing the clothes were. And I couldn't believe it. And of course, I was running off adrenaline. It was a very long day. It was probably a 14-hour shoot day. And at the end of the job, my friend came up to me and he said, "You did amazing. And we definitely want you to style some other things for us." And then handed me a check at the end of the job, which till this day, I have not been paid as quickly as I have for that first job. So I that was when this whole thing started. I had no idea I was good at something like this, and it got the ball rolling on my styling career. And I did work with my friend and his artists for a long time. So I worked with a ton of musicians, helped them with videos, helped them with album packaging, and then I moved on to styling commercials and photo shoots for magazines, and things of that nature. And I've truly been blessed to work with, just some of the most amazing, not only companies, but celebrities. I've had the honor of working with the cast of The Cosby Show, with Katie Couric, Lenny Kravitz, Marie Forleo, for those of you who are familiar with her, and amazing companies like you see here on the screen: Good Housekeeping, Essence, Panasonic, Redbook Magazine. I just honestly sometimes can't believe that I get to do this as my career. I'm a very lucky girl. So I continue to work in this world. I call it the commercial world, working for companies and magazines and artists and celebrities and things like that. And one day I was on set of a Good Housekeeping magazine cover photo shoot. And we were styling a group of women who had gone through drastic weight loss. And Good Housekeeping was doing a cover story on these ladies. So as I was dressing each of them, I noticed how incredibly happy they began to feel when they saw themselves and their new bodies in these clothes that I was putting them in. And all of a sudden, they began to feel beautiful, and it showed, because these same women who had just a few hours before that morning had walked into the studio feeling timid and shy and unsure were all of a sudden now in front of the camera, in front of the photographer, in front of all of us, really, because it's actually intimidating to be at a photo shoot, especially if you haven't done it before. They were dancing and laughing and just feeling, just exuding all this confidence in front of the camera. And I remember at the end of the shoot, many of them told me how they would never forget this day and how beautiful they felt, and they had no idea that they could look this good in clothes. And as much, I think that was a pivotal moment for me because as much as I loved styling for corporations and magazines, I just couldn't get over how moved I was by this experience. I realized then that what I really wanted to do was help as many women out there feel that same level of confidence and beauty that those women at the shoot felt. So I shifted my business and I began to focus more on helping women with their personal style. And that's when my blog was born. And some of you have been on my blog since the beginning. I think that was around end of 2010. Since then, I've had the opportunity to help hundreds of women look and feel beautiful in their clothes. And I've fallen in love with what I do all over again. And I am just extremely grateful for that. So that's my story in a nutshell. I hope that gave you a little bit more insight in terms of my background and who I am and how I got to where I am today, here sharing my styling tips with you. So just a couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. We've created the hashtag Dream Wardrobe. So no matter when you're listening to this call, whether you're on the call live or listening to the recording, um, feel free to share some of the tips and anything on here that you found helpful to you. I'm sure there's someone else out there who will find it just as helpful. So if you want to share this, any of this information on social media, you can do so. And you can, if you could use the hashtag Pound Dream Wardrobe, that would be great. And I am just gonna say that it's probably a good idea to have a pen and notepad ready to jot down any notes and any questions you may have. And finally, we are here to have fun. Learning can be fun, and that's what the goal is today. Don't always have to be so serious. So don't forget to have fun throughout the next few minutes or so. So, ever open up your closet and say something like this? I hate my clothes. I have nothing to wear. Mind you, your closet is bursting at the seams. I just want to throw everything out and start over. I know the feeling. You are not alone, and hundreds and probably thousands, millions of women say one of these things, and maybe all three of those things pretty consistently throughout their life. So, why do we hate our clothes? Many of you think the answer to this question lies on the racks of department stores, at Macy's or Bloomingdale's. But I just don't, when you say something like, I just don't like what I have anymore, so going shopping will help me have new clothes that I like, that's actually wrong. The dress you now hate, that's sitting in your closet now, at some point that dress was new, which means you loved it enough to buy it, which also means you should have loved it enough to have worn it. But there it hangs, unworn and hated, tag still on and everything. So, what are the real reasons we hate our clothes? One reason is we have no idea how to shop. There is a science to shopping, there is an art to shopping, and I guarantee you, most of us have no idea what that science or that art is. Another reason is we don't spend enough time crafting and building our wardrobe. This one really shocks me because in order to get an amazing bikini ready body, we have to spend countless hours working out, changing up our diet. So it takes effort on our part before we get to our ideal goal. And I don't think many people associate, this same kind of mentality when it comes to style and feeling beautiful in clothes. It requires time and it requires commitment on your part. So, consider how much time you've been investing in creating, your ideal, your dream wardrobe. And that doesn't mean just going out shopping. There's a whole, which is why we're here today. There's a whole slew of steps that you can take advantage of before you even step foot in a clothing store. Another reason we don't clean out our closets regularly. I know some of you are guilty of this. I personally am weird. I'm a weirdo. I actually love cleaning out my closet. We don't know what type of clothes look good on us. So I am going to go through 4 steps on how you can change this whole, your whole perspective on clothes, and how you can love your closet, feel like you have a dream wardrobe, and just feel like you have more control over, your clothes in your closet. So step number 1, determine your body shape. I know that some of you who follow me and are on my follow my blog know that I preach this consistently. And I preach this consistently because it is so important. It really, truly is the foundation to getting started here anytime we're dealing with style and clothes and looking good in them. Step 2, decide what you want your clothes to say about you. Step 3, create your style inspiration vision board. Step 4, clean out your closet. And step 5 is a secret. I'll reveal this last step at the end of the call. Okay, let's start with step 1, determine your body shape. Not knowing your shape is the number 1 reason you don't look good in your clothes. I'm going to repeat that. Not knowing your shape is the number 1 reason you don't look good in your clothes. Each of us has a unique and specific shape to our body. And at the end of the day, we should not be expecting, the clothes out in these stores and these designers and manufacturers to just get us and just to know what our shape is, and for everything that we purchase to just instantly fit, miraculously fit, I should say. I always tell my clients that if you happen to find something in a store that fits you right off the rack, that is equivalent to winning the lottery. It really is that difficult. When you consider all the different, first of all, the millions of women, billions of women on this earth, and the different body shapes, like no 2 women are alike. That's insane. So just keep that in mind. And this is why I say that knowing your shape is important, because this will now be your filter, one of your filters, into determining what you shouldn't even look at and what you can eliminate, leaving you with just the best of the best for you. Our body shape dictates what we wear, not our clothes. So, we're not looking at trends. We can do that later, but initially we shouldn't be looking to the clothes to tell us, that this is what we should be wearing. We should be paying attention to the nuances of our body shape. Great fit equals great style, and great fit only happens when you dress for your shape. So, do you know your body shape? I know a lot of you out there do, but I also know a lot of you out there don't. So if you don't know your body shape, please head over to my blog at blog.elsaisaac.com, and you'll need a fabric tape measure. And what you're going to do is you're going to take down 4 measurements around your body. So the first measurement, and these have to be in inches if you're using my calculator, is around your shoulders. The second measurement will be at the fullest part around your bust. Third measurement is around the smallest part of your waist at your belly button. And the last measurement, with your feet standing together, is around your hips, so at the widest part of your hips. Once you enter those 4 measurements into the calculator, it will reveal to you which one of the 5 body shapes you are. And I don't like to be referred to as a fruit or a shape, like, a triangle. So I decided to name the body shapes after celebrities who are known for their corresponding shape. So if you do use my body shape calculator, you will be one of the 5 shapes named after celebrities, and we're going to go through them now. So the first body shape is the Angelina Jolie. This is commonly referred to as the apple. Who the heck wants to be called an apple? Right? It's just so not sexy. So the characteristic of this shape is that your shoulders are wider than your bust and hips. Your waistline is as wide or wider than your bust. You have medium to full breasts. You have an undefined waistline, but you have crazy slim arms and or legs. So actually, if you did enter your measurements into the calculator on my blog, you also have the option to get your corresponding body shape guide. And that actually goes into depth in terms of what cuts and what types of clothing you need to look out for your specific shape. So we don't have to go into the full details and have enough time to cover the rest of the body shapes. I'm going to suggest that you do that if you don't already have the guide for your corresponding body shape. So the next body shape is the Jennifer Lopez. This is what I am, commonly referred to as the triangle. Again, so not sexy. So the characteristics of your body shape, if you're Jennifer Lopez, is you have a slim torso, bust, and waist, but larger and curvier hips, thighs, and butt. So your goal when you're looking for clothes is to balance your top half with your bottom half. And always accentuate your waist. So you're more likely to do basics on the bottom, so little to no detail, darker colors, but then you can play up your neckline and your shoulders with interesting details or color. Okay, the next body shape, if you are this shape, is the Cameron Diaz, also known as the rectangle or athletic. Your characteristics, torso and upper body are about the same width as hips. You have lean limbs, straight waist, naturally athletic build and boyish frame, small to regular size bust, and your weight gain is evenly distributed throughout your frame, which is great. Goals for you is definitely to define your waist and create curvature on your top or bottom half. The Halle Berry is next. This is also referred to as the hourglass figure. Your bust and shoulders are the same width as your hips. You have a very defined waist, average to full bust line. Your weight gain is evenly distributed throughout your body, and you're generally curvy all over. So your goal is to really pay attention to whether or not you're highlighting your waist, because you can easily get lost in clothes if your waist is not defined. And to create a long, lean vertical line, which I speak to on plenty of occasions throughout many of my blog posts on my blog. So definitely go in search of those. And the final one we're going to talk about, and the final body shape that I refer to, is the Naomi Campbell. This is also commonly referred to as the inverted triangle. So your common characteristics, you have broad shoulders, your torso and upper body are wider than the width of your hips. You have medium to full bust line, narrow hips, relatively slender limbs, and your goal is to balance your bottom half with your top half. So you get to do all the things that we Jennifer Lopez's can't do. You get to wear pleated skirts and have, just more volume and playfulness on your bottom half. But what you do need to do is be careful of your shoulder lines and, for example, the tops with the cutout shoulders, but then sleeves halfway down your arm, those would not be good for you because they would just highlight the width of your shoulders and just create imbalance. So again, you can download your corresponding guide, which goes into much more detail than I just skimmed through here. And that actually is a great companion when you go shopping or when you do your classic cleanse, which we'll get to later. So we've gone through step number 1, which is to determine your body shape. Step number 2, decide what you want your clothes to say about you. Style is the visual declaration of who you are in this world. So, what does the way you dress say about you? This is important, ladies. come up with three adjectives that describe how you'd like your clothes to make you feel. For example, confident, sexy, powerful. The possibilities are endless, but at the end of the day, it's about you. You get to dictate this, and this, just like step number one, knowing your body shape serves as a filter for you to determine whether or not something is working on your body. This now becomes another filter. It's filter number two, because your clothes should make you feel like you want to feel, not like how you saw, Jennifer Aniston looking or feeling. This is personal. This is your message. You get to dictate what you want to say. So if any of the three adjectives come to mind right now, definitely jot them down so you don't forget them. And if you want to take time to do them after the call, that's totally okay too. And like I said, women don't consider this much. This step is by far one of the most overlooked by women when it comes to their style. Let's move on to step number three, which is to create a style and inspiration board. So, a lot of people have done this for their careers. I think they call them vision boards for their careers or their homes or, a variety of other things. It's a reason Pinterest is so popular. So, create a private Pinterest board, which that feature is now available on Pinterest, or get yourself a physical artboard. And it doesn't have to be private, you can make it public too. That's totally up to you. And if you're like me and want to actually, get crafty and use an actual artboard or foam core board, totally okay too. That way you get to be more hands-on, and it'll be wherever you place it, maybe someplace you can see every day. But what you're going to do is spend the next 7 days gathering images that reflect the things that you love, reflect the things that you're moved by, the things that you're passionate about. This can include anything and everything from architecture to furniture to music and, of course, clothing. It could be, you could reference, the roaring 20s, you could reference the Renaissance, anything that moves you, anything that you are just naturally attracted to. That is the point. And you're going to do that for 7 consecutive days without thinking. This is kind of like, just go by feel type of exercise. After 7 days, you're going to sit and study your inspiration board, and you're going to take note of all the common themes that you'll see. A common question I get about this is, will I see a theme? What if there is no theme? What if it's just all over the place? If you are going by feel and you're not thinking too much about this exercise, themes will exist. You will be able to spot the themes. So just try not to think too hard about it. Oh, step number 4, the one I think many of us resist, is to do a closet cleanse. I recommend setting aside at least 3 hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but at, this way you're focused, and you can spend the time required without feeling rushed. You're gonna need a full length mirror. That is a definite must. And possibly a camera or your phone. You can use the camera on your phone, cell phone also. And what you're going to do is take 3 blank sheets of paper, and you're going to write down alter on one, giveaway on another, and consignment on the third. You're going to lay these 3 pieces of paper with each of the categories down on your bed or on your floor. And you're going to go through every item in your closet, all of them, and ask yourself these questions. Does it suit my body shape? Does it make me feel at least 2 of my 3 adjective words? Have I worn this in the last year? And of course, do I love it? If you answer no to any of these questions, it belongs in one of those 3 piles. So if it's a matter of, oh my gosh, this dress makes me feel all of my adjective words, I wore it, 6 months ago. I definitely love this dress, but it's a little bit like let's say you are a Jennifer Lopez, and maybe the shoulder lines on the dress slope too far past your shoulders. And if you just made that one adjustment, you would wear it way more often and it would be perfect. Then guess what? You can spend spending that extra few dollars to get the shoulder line altered is going to mean the world of difference, not only in, appearance and the fact that it's just going to look better on you, but you'll feel better. You have no idea how little alterations, little tweaks can completely change how a garment feels on you. So take my word on alterations. If you are not someone who's prone to do them, start. You can start with a few, see how you like it, and I guarantee you the difference will astound you. And how I test for good tailors is I'll start with a simple hem. So if I need jeans to be shortened, I don't have, if I move to a new area and I'm not really sure who I can trust, I'll just start with the denim jeans and see how they handle that job. And if you like, meaning you're looking for straight lines and just a well done, you'll be able to test. You can also compare them to other jeans that have been hemmed by the manufacturers. So that's definitely a good way to test before you invest money in one tailor that you may be unsure of. Once you've completed your closet cleanse, you are going to take note of any items that no longer fit your body, but have been your go-to pieces, ones that you'd like to replace with updated versions. This happens a lot, and it's okay. Like if there's, a pair of black leggings that you like to wear, with tunic tops, and they're either just worn to bits, or that particular cut didn't, although you like the black leggings, that particular maker or manufacturer didn't make a well quality version. You can make notes of these types of things that you go to and wear often, and replace them with updated versions down the road. What you're also going to do during a closet cleanse, this is why it's great to do them, is you're going to determine the gaps in your wardrobe. What are you constantly wishing you had when you're getting dressed? Make a list. I know for me, every winter, it's why don't I have enough long sleeve shirts that I love every winter. So it's something I definitely need to address, and I will be next season. Make a list, and this will be added to whatever you come up in terms of gaps will be added to your master shopping list. What's great about this too is that you won't be stuck in a bind when you have, a last minute event or something to go to. So if you have the type of career where you're going to be invited to networking events or anything of that sort, or if you're a performer and you have, you do gigs every once in a while, it's always good to have a backup outfit, a backup networking outfit, a backup performance outfit. So it's good to put that on your list, so you know that you won't be stuck in a bind the next time a last minute event or invitation comes through to you. So, how to keep your closet clean after you've just spent all this precious time cleaning it. One of my biggest recommendations is to switch out all of your wooden, plastic, and wire hangers for velvet ones. I think most of you know this, but the amount of hanging space that they will save you is really astonishing. So do it. Invest in specialty hangers for scarves, belts, pants, and skirts. They will keep things organized in groups and make them easy to get to. Again, an amazing time saver. Here's another time saver. I use this formula to help place my clothes in my closet, and I also use it when I'm on a job, and this is how I organize the clothes and access. Well, this refers to the clothes, so we'll talk about the clothes for now. I'm working from left to right here, so I start with tanks on the very left, short sleeves next, long sleeve tops. So tops from T to B. Short sleeve tops, then long sleeve tops, then blazers and or sweaters, then pants, then skirts, and then on the very right is dresses. So once you have them organized in this order, to take it a step further, which is what I do, you can organize each category by color, so light to dark from left to right. And I know this seems a bit OCD, but I can't tell you. Sometimes, after a couple months, some of the order gets a bit disheveled. So I will reorder them. And I just feel like it's a whole new closet. I can see my things quicker. I don't have to spend, and this is important when I'm on set for a photo shoot. I need to be able to access the clothing and see them, most importantly, see them before I can access them really quickly. So this is really another simple but effective way to save yourself time and just be able to keep your closet clean for longer than, you know, a day. And here are some tools that I use as for hangers to keep for organization. And don't forget about the belts and the scarves and the skirts and things like that, because the easier you can keep them grouped together, the easier it will be for you to be able to find them and make a decision. So I just recently purchased the half circle hanger on the top right for my scarves, because I have a ton of scarves and folding them doesn't really work for me. I forget which ones I have, and I once I go through them, I'm always annoyed that I don't wear half of them, and it's because I don't see them. That's most of the time when you don't wear, when you discover you're going through your closet and you're like, man, I really like this. Why don't I wear it? It's most likely because you weren't able to see it. So these tools are really, really important for you to kind of not only keep your closet organized, but for you to be able to see your clothes effectively. So we have gone through 4 of the 5 crucial steps to create the wardrobe of your dreams. You know that determining your body shape is truly the first important step before any real change can take place. You've learned that you have to be more deliberate with your style by choosing 3 words that describe how you want your clothes to make you feel. We discussed the importance of creating a visual inspiration board based on your passions so you have a clear idea of what you actually like. And finally, we talked about tackling a closet cleanse armed with 3 filters using the previous 3 steps. So, what exactly is the secret 5th step? This 5th step is, I'm not like just sugarcoat or kind of laying it on thick here, but it's just as important as the 4 steps we just talked about. And the 5th step is getting the help and support that you need to get started on this journey now. I just want to take a second before I go on just to remind you, having your dream wardrobe is not something that just would be cool and awesome to have. It's truly what you deserve. You deserve to open up your closet and feel excited at the endless possibilities you see in front of you. You deserve to not waste precious time and money on clothes that make you feel ugly. End of the day, you deserve to feel beautiful, period. And here's what I know. I know that most of you are really excited about this information that I shared with you here. I'm sure many of you took down copious notes, and some of you may have started planning your next closet cleanse in your head, which is awesome. But the truth is, most of you will walk away from this call, close your notepad, and never get started on your path to get and having your dream wardrobe. I know this because statistics show that only 1 in 8 women clean out their closets regularly, and 1 in 50 women delay cleaning out their closets by 10 years. That's a decade. 10 years. And I know that. I know that the reality is the hardest part about starting anything in life is taking that first step. This is why I created a really special offer that would help support you as you take this first step in what I know is going to be a life-changing journey. I know this. I am offering a one-on-one, 1-hour personal session with me called Wardrobe Rescue Session for $97. That's crazy low, and I just want you to know that I don't even work in 1-hour increments. The cheapest way you can work with me now is $400 for 3 hours of service. And so the reason I'm offering this so cheap is because I really want you to take these next steps and apply them ASAP. I know firsthand that once implemented, the effect it will have in your life will be amazing. All of us struggle with having not having two things in our lives: not having enough time or not having enough money. And I want to offer you a way to save both as you take your first steps on this journey. At the end of the day, I gotta say, I really believe that there's just far too many women in this world who, right at this moment, don't feel alive and beautiful, don't own their power, don't love and believe in themselves, or even feel like they matter. In fact, there's a statistic that shows only 2% of women would describe themselves as beautiful. I can't even, I mean, that is just unacceptable. It's ridiculous. You and I have to change this with our generation so we can be better role models for the younger girls and that generation. You are not alone in your frustration here, and I want you to get that. A lot of women kind of think that there's something wrong with them because they don't get it. This is these issues are so common, and if you get nothing else from today, know that you're not alone. Your struggle with style, in my opinion, is kind of in part due to the women's fashion industry, which is in a way set you up to fail a little bit here. They've, for years and years, relied and thrived on you chasing inspiration from places outside of yourself, like magazines and supermodels, celebrities, runway shows. Don't get me wrong, this is my industry, so I'm definitely not bashing it. I myself look to these same sources. But I think it's one thing to look at those things for inspiration. It's a whole nother thing to let those inspirations take over your closet. If you let them take charge, them meaning these outside sources, you end up with a closet full of clothes that don't flatter your body and that you want to throw away and start over every month. If you let them take charge, you find yourself standing in front of your closet complaining about how you have nothing to wear yet again. And I just, I was talking to a woman yesterday, and she just said the most amazing thing. She said, "Good clothes opens all doors." I just love that quote. And not only do I 100% agree with it, but that's exactly what this session will help you do. It will help you have a closet full of clothes that help you open doors in your personal life, in your career, and whatever stage of life that you are at. I will hold your hand through this journey. Um, and you deserve to give yourself this feeling, this feeling of beauty and confidence. Because at the end of the day, I know I've seen this over and over and over and over again. Feeling beautiful matters, and feeling beautiful is what you owe yourself and to the women of tomorrow. It's not just some frivolous thing that we should all feel ashamed about wanting. It is your absolute birthright. So now is your chance to grab this opportunity and book your session. This offer will not exist anywhere else. It's only available until 11:59 p.m. Tuesday, May 7th. I most likely will not offer one-on-one sessions at this rate again, so it's kind of really like now or more expensive later. So, I mean, you'll have 4 months to book your session. So even if you feel like you're not ready to get started right this minute, you have some time to kind of to book it. So before we go our separate ways, I had a few questions come in that I want to answer. The first one, it comes from Liv Campbell, and Liv writes, "I've been vision boarding my style and have definitely discovered a theme, but then I see some other very different styles that I'm super drawn to. What do I do when I'm drawn by other very different styles? Work them in, stick them into the rotation as accessories, or light touches? Help." This is a great question. Um, the truth is, we are always distracted. We have a hard time focusing, especially in this digital age. So, my advice to you, Liv, is to stick with your just the themes you've already discovered. Stick with them for a month to 2 months. Really give it your all, and you can do it. It takes time. You're never gonna like just completely encompass your themes in a week. It takes time to incorporate the small elements day by day and week by week. So you really do need to set aside at least 1 to 2 months with the themes that were initially discovered, that you initially discovered for yourself during your vision boarding process. So if within that 1 or 2 months you find that certain elements are not connecting with you or just don't feel like they're resonating, edit them out of your board. And by the end of the 2 months, if you feel like you've gone in a completely in a direction that just was completely not feeling right to you, by all means, you have every right to eliminate that and start incorporating the new things that you may be attracted to. So my real only advice is just to stick with what you initially came up with for at least 1 to 2 months before you scrap it and move on to something else, and just stay focused. You can, you'll always be able to add other new and exciting elements down the line, but again, that's kind of what we want to stay away from. The point of this overhaul exercise is really to just eliminate some of that overwhelm and that distraction, so you know exactly what to focus on when it comes to getting dressed. Great question, Liv. Thank you for that. Second question comes from Freya, and she asks, how do you keep your wardrobe up to date and fun through constant size changes, weight gains, weight losses, pregnancy, getting older, etc.? It seems impossible and expensive to keep up unless I stay the same for years at a time or have unlimited storage space. Okay, so I know this is probably a question many women have, and it's a great one, actually. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, Freya, is to dress for the body you have today. You can't, you know, I know I've worked with many women who will hang on to pieces because they know that if they lose the last 10 pounds, they'll be able to wear it again. And the truth is, that's neither here nor there. Your body is what it is, whatever size it is now, and you deserve to feel beautiful right now. So, my advice to you is whatever your body shape is today, whatever size you are right now, go through the steps of the style overhaul and invest in that time. If you are, kind of working towards a new body, then one of the things I would recommend is to stick to maybe not so tailored basics. So that could be leggings or, dresses, just something that is easy to transition into. And then determine what your key go-to pieces are and invest the money in getting well tailored, good quality items in those select few things. So, that way you'll always have a section of your closet that will make you feel put together and make you feel confident while you're going through body changes. But I will reemphasize, you can only dress for the body you have now. So you may have to do the style overhaul several times in a year. I recommend that you do it at least once a year, but if you can do it every season, that's even better. So what's great about doing this over again is that you're aware of what looks good on your current body at that time, which, regardless of what your shape is or what your size is, your job is to make sure you look good, feel good in your clothes right now, not, 3 months from now, or not when you lose 15 pounds. So Freya, I would say go through steps 1 through 4 of the style overhaul. And if you want to just keep your clothes to a minimum, you can, determine what your basics are, determine what your key go-to pieces are, and invest time, money, and quality in your go-to pieces. Hope that helped you, Freya. And I have one final question. And that question is from Tanya. And Tanya writes, I did the body shape calculator and got the Halle Berry, but I'm struggling. I've been struggling for so many years to dress myself because I love eclectic, arty, and urban looks, but everything I wear seems to make me look like a woman. Not that there is something wrong with that, but I want to look more angular, athletic, and I feel kind of trapped, like my shape is not compatible with what I love. I never feel appropriate, and the best compromise I found is the flowy style, kind of like jeans with a loose cami and my Adidas Gazelle. I can't seem to love any other pairs of shoes. I've been wearing those in so many styles since high school, even with dresses. I feel I'm in a rut and my wardrobe is always full of so many clothes that I never wear. I just always wear the same stuff. I'd like to find a way to feel myself again. Is there a way to create a style I love with the shape I have? Wow, that was a loaded one. But it's a really great question. And one of the things I want to point out in your question, Tanya, is that you were wanting to look like someone that you were not in terms of your body shape. So if you are the Halle Berry shape, then I just let me back up for a second here because this style overhaul, everything that we have discussed in this call, is about starting with you and you being the foundation to your style. So you may be attracted to, and I think we all have this who we'd like to be or look like if our body wasn't our body. And I think you're using that as a basis to dress your body. And you're going to run into all types of conflict there. So I strongly urge you to go through steps 1 through 4 and give yourself a chance to dress according to you. That doesn't mean and you can like other styles based on other body shapes, but that is a distraction to you if you are not happy with how you feel in your own clothes. So part of it for you is really going to be to stay focused on you. Steps 1 through 4 will help you do that. And it's also going to be willing to try something new. This is the hardest part. I know it is, which is why I offer this support. I know this is hard, especially when you don't have another perspective. Sometimes that helps. So you need to take risks and you need to be willing to commit to dressing according to these important foundational steps for at least 2 to 3 months because you are gorgeous. I can guarantee you, your body is beautiful and you are beautiful, but you're not giving your chance to represent yourself like you should. So I would set aside what you say you like in terms of angular and athletic styles. And so put the brake on that, rewind, start fresh, start with step 1, commit all the way to step 4. And I'm here if you need me for step 5. And if you can commit to the changes these exercises will push you to make for 3 months, I can see it already. I know that you will find a better way to feel beautiful in your clothes than you are now. And if you have any trouble with that, please reach out and let me know because I know I know that's one that we all struggle with. I have many times wished my hips away when trying on clothes in fitting rooms. So you are not alone, Tanya. I totally understand. Okay, so those are all the questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you for submitting them. If you have any other questions, please just email me if you'd like directly at info@elsaisaac.com. If you are looking to book a session, please head over to www.elsaisaac.com/dream-wardrobe/join. You have until Tuesday, May 7th, 11:59 p.m. And if you book, I look forward to working through your 4 steps with you and creating an incredible dream wardrobe catered just for you. And again, thank you all for being here, for taking the time out of your busy lives to watch this video, to read my blogs, to support me in all the ways that you do. I'm so grateful that you're here because without you, this would not exist. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.